Hello everyone, hope you guys are doing well and having a fantastic day. So today we are going to talk about the broader crypto market all over from BTC to Ethereum to altcoin. So first we will talk about the Ethereum. As we all know that we have placed our buying orders in the zone between $1,400 zone and Ethereum has give us a pump, quite good pump from this zone toward the $1,800 zone, and it almost stayed in this zone about 12 days from 22 April to 6th of May. This phase was the accumulation zone where BTC has accumulated quite a while, and we have seen a breakout from this level, and again we are in a zone of accumulation, and in this accumulation zone we are potentially making two bullish patterns. First is falling wedge pattern, and second is the head and shoulder pattern, inverse head and shoulder pattern. As you can see, we have a resistance from $2,750 zone, which our upper trend line is showing that current resistance is at $2,580 zone. Once this resistance is break, our next resistance will be around $2,740 zone. Until unless we are in this box, we will buy from this zone and we will sell at this zone until we break this zone. Let's suppose if a pump from this come toward this zone, and then it will definitely drop toward this zone. Once it will drop to the zone, we will take an entry from this zone with a stop loss of here, and then we can move C at to move the upper zone of $3,100, so where we can see Ethereum next phase. So why I'm talking about Ethereum, that Ethereum could give us this movement, as we can see in at BTC. So as you can see, previously it has accumulated in the zone from here and give us a quite a good pump in at BTC chart, as almost 40% we have seen a massive upside pump, and now it is accumulating in this zone in the form of falling wedge pattern. Once this zone is break, so let me clear one thing. So this is the resistance zone, this trend line is the resistance zone. We have to break this zone close to the three candles above the zone, then we are going up. So this chart is the main chart for Ethereum and for altcoins, as we have seen in the previous few 4 to 5 days that altcoins are having very low volume. The basic reason for this is that all the broader market of crypto and Ethereum are at its resistance. So nobody wants to buy at the resistance. So people were waiting for quite good entries. But we have a scenario. If we break this zone and closes two candles or three candles above this zone, then we are definitely going to see above zone for this pattern. So we have to watch this zone, the upper trend line zone, for our next move. So if we have seen 2 to 3 candles, red candles here, then we can see a retest toward the support zone. As you can see here, and here is an order block zone. So we can think that 0.022 is the zone where we can place our orders with a stop loss almost as with a stop loss of 3% to target the profit of 28% around almost. So let's talk about the BTC chart. Here's our BTC chart. As you remember, my friends, I have mentioned you many times in my update that we BTC is trading in the horizontal channel, and until we are in this box zone, we don't have to worry. We just have to bought at the right time and sell at the right time. So uh, last time when I give you the update, Bitcoin price was at $104,000, and I have told you that if you see at $1,000 and $1,200 zone to $1,600, you should have buy. And BTC almost dropped toward the 1 lakh $1,300 zone, and our order buying order was missed by $100 and $200 zone, and BTC pumped toward the again 1 lakh $5,000 zone. As we can see, we have a breakout from this zone. Previously we have seen a breakout from this zone where we have seen a quite good sell, and BTC almost dropped from 1 lakh $7,000 to 1 lakh $2,000, which was around $5,000 correction, and BTC again pumped toward the upper zone from this zone. So what are the zones that I am think that BTC might take a corrections? So as you know, in my previous update I have mentioned that 1 lakh $8,000 to 1 lakh $10,000 zone is the zone that I think that BTC might take a correction. As you can see here, we have a quite big resistance and order block zone, sell side liquidity at this zone. First, at we have seen a sell at this zone. Second, we have seen a sell at this zone, and it is not just a regular sell pressure, it was a huge sell pressure, and the price movement was almost like 32%. Bitcoin has corrected from when it dropped from this zone. Similarly, at this zone, we might see a good sell pressure. Which zone? From $1 lakh $8,000 zone to $1 lakh $10,000 zone, we could see a quite good sell pressure zone. As you know, my friends, at $91,000 to $92,000, we have our CME gap, which is very important for BTC to take the liquidity and then go toward the up. And also we have our CME gaps around, as we can see here, at 88,000 dollars zone. We have a CME gap. Previously, if we have seen that BTC has taken the CME gap, which was sitting around at $80,000 zone and at $74,000 zone, and almost we have seen that $74,000 zone to $71,000 zone was unfilled, but sometimes FEG gaps might not be filled, but CME gaps are the one that almost every time get filled, and market need to fill these gaps to get new money in and market to move freely upside. So for upcoming BTC resistance, I'm observing the chart, and I think $1,08,500 zone to $1,10,000 zone is the zone where we can see a quite good selling pressure. As for altcoins, we will look at the altcoins. Here we have the altcoins, and it's also included the Ethereum and big cap charts. So here we have the chart, and we have seen we have forming a pattern, and this pattern is almost break out the neckline zone and currently forming a candles. So we need 2 to 3 candles above this zone, around one. We need a closing, or we can say a $1.24 trillion closing. Once we see a $1.24 trillion closing, we can easily see it toward going toward the 1.4 $1.4 trillion zone to $1.35 trillion zone, where we can observe a good pump in altcoins. Here is the chart. So yes, this zone from $1.35 trillion zone to $1.3 trillion zone is this zone. So if this pattern work out perfectly, then we are going toward this zone. This is simple, not so complicated, that we are going $1,000 up for BTC, $1,000 on for down. Just good buying zones. So let's talk about some altcoins. Sol USDT. My friend, many people do this mistake every time they do the charting. So they do the mistake. The mistake they do is buying at the wrong zone. So as we can see in Sol USDT chart, we are at resistance. Many people were thinking that we are going up, we are going there, so they will take entry at this zone. No, my friends, this is not the zone you have to take the entry. You have to sell at this zone until we are breaking above this zone. It closes 3 to 4 candles above this zone, then we will take the entry at the retest zone. Many people were placing their orders in this zone. They think this zone will be good, this zone will be good. We have to buy at the right zone for our bags, not to buy at the middle, not to buy at the resistance, but to buy at the support zone. Why I am taking that we always have to buy at the support zones of the trend line zones. So let's break it down. So as we can see, if a person is using high leverage, so yes, if I am using 10x or 20x leverage, I will be using a stop loss of 1% to 2% for my trade, and to target a profit from 9% to 20% profit for a leverage which was have taken from 10x to 20x leverage. So if I will put my order in this zone from $164 zone, and putting my order at my stop loss at 1.8% at this zone, then definitely we can see a drop toward this zone, and our position will going to be stop out. But at the lower zone, where we have our trend line support zone, is the zone where we have the potential that market will going to retest this zone and bounce this zone. And if we are taking high leverage at this zone, we have a probability that our stop loss might not hit, and we will achieve the target. So when we achieve this target, let's suppose if a person has invested $100 in this zone, and it's trying to use a stop loss of $1.2, risking its $10 to $20 to achieve a profit of 100% to 200% gold, is a smart move. Which is the foolish move? Foolish move is to buy at this resistance, upper trend line resistance zones, or buying at the middle zone. We have to buy at the proper zone, as we have recently seen at our LTC USDT chart. Here we have our LTC USDT chart. As you can see, I have given you to buy at the zone which was at the support trend line from the lower zone. So as you can see, there was last day we have seen a quite good sell pressure in this zone. Why the sell pressure was in? Because many people have taken entries at this zone with higher leverages. So this zone was very important for to hold this zone for upper movement. As you can see, we are at our break even zone, and it is starting pumping. So as you can see, if I have put it my order at this zone, hoping that it will break out from this zone, obviously my stop loss will going to be hit. But I have put it my order blocks at the zone where we have the support of the lower trend line zone. So my aim and my thought is that we always have to buy at the support zones, not have to buy at the middle zone and not have to buy at the resistance zone. So every time you have charting, you will see a market, you just have to do what you have to do. Let's suppose we have LTC chart in front. Let's suppose we have LTC chart or on your screen. What we have to do, you have to do is to create trend lines. See, upper trend lines and lower trend lines. From observing these trend lines, you have to take the decisions. You don't have to buy at the middle zone, you don't have to buy at the resistance zone, always buy at the support zone and always sell at the resistance zone. Once we have the confirmation, we, when we have the confirmation, at least 2 to 3 candles above the resistance or above lower the support zone. As you can see, we at the lower zone we have only wicks, no solid candle is closed below this zone, means there was a fake sell pressure created to force liquidate the traders. As we have FGs around 97,000, I will close affiliating close my position at 101 dollar zone, and if seen a rejection from this zone, or I will put break even at 97 90 98 to 97 dollar zone. So that is the simplest things that I am teaching you, that do not buy at the resistance zone of the trend line, do not buy at the middle zone, always buy at the support zone. This is the basic thing, and I know many people, they don't even recognize the where to have, we have to buy and where have to sell. They put it their buying orders and at the middle zone and at the resistance zone, hoping that it will break out, and eventually their stop losses get hitted. And if someone is taking, let's suppose if the price is at $100 zone, and if the person have taken 20x or 10x leverage, so definitely at $95 zone there will be its liquidation zone, and it will definitely hit its liquidation zone. So what we have to do, first we have to draw the support and resistance trend line. We have to watch where the market is currently. If market is sitting at the middle zone, we don't have to buy. If the market is sitting at the upper trend line resistance zone, we don't have to buy. Where we have to buy, we have to buy at the support zone. Only buy at the support zone. So this is the today update, and I hope you all guys like this update, and I need, thank you.